Let's go to Aquarius. We've got 2 to go. So Aquarius, well, hey, look, it's the opposite sign to the sun ruler of Leo, so it likes to, have its own way there. And the moon in Aquarius, well, I don't think the moon really knows where it sits in Aquarius, because it's probably the most, the moon loves to be nice and comfortable and looked after and, secure. You throw it in Aquarius and it just energizes it to the point where it goes this way and that way and that way or this way, whatever. And it's like, they don't know where they land.
Well, I wrote an article about the archetype of Aquarius, and it's where the sun sits underneath the light.
Yep.
And it's under the ice, and it wants to break through the ice and come out of the ice and emerge. But before it can do that, it's got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
It is a humanitarian sign.
Yes, it is.
The image of it is the fellow standing there pouring the
water,
the essence of knowledge into the immersible soup of Pisces.
Yeah. And that's why people get it confused and think it's a water sign when it's actually an air sign.
Yeah, but the ancients referred to it slightly, they had this connotation of water in the metaphor that they used, because remember,
the old ruler was Saturn.
It is a Saturn sign, but associated with it is the correspondence of Uranus. So we give it that detachment. So the severing of Uranus, the Titan by Saturn, of the genitals and falling to sea made the foam, and of course we have Aphrodite moving out of it. But before the urn or what I call the urn of Minos comes to fruition, the pirates, it meets the pirates on the sea.
Yep.
And so it's got to go through this process, if you like, of development before it actually gets there. So it revolts, it revolutions.
I was about to say, you're talking about something that Aquarius is not known for its subtlety in any way, shape, or form. And if you think about it even from a Saturn point of view, if Capricorn's Saturn is about building the boundaries and putting those in place and putting plans ahead, that Uranus, or you could say the Aquarius Saturn, is all about breaking those boundaries down and rebuilding them.
That's what I'm talking about, the ice. The sun's underneath the ice and it wants to break through and,
Yeah. So this is a time when, if you're, say, involved in technology specifically, it may not be the greatest time to make changes to that technology.
Yeah.
Because technology is very an Aquarian or Uranian type of stuff. AI, for example, now is you can see that as part of the age of Aquarius and moving forward into that. But you've also got so you take the moon and the sun, go back to its basic things, so the sun being the ability to make decisions and the moon trying to collect and put, to feel secure around those decisions, and be emotional about it. Neither one of them like Uranian energy. Neither one of them like the Aquarius energy, because it's all about, irrational or fast and too quick a decision for your reasoning, rational mind, and the emotions doesn't like anything changing that quickly and rapidly.
And you're not going to change your mind, Luke, because it's a fixed sign.
That's
so
right.
You go, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. Well, let me just take you back to, because I've been telling the little stories about the cosmological stories about it, and the one where Zeus changes himself into an eagle and comes down and grabs hold of the cupbearer, the little boy, and takes him up and uses him as a slave. And the little boy gets pissed off with that. I'm not gonna be any more of this. So he jumps out and comes back down. He's had enough of being under control.
Yep.
So he breaks free.
Yeah.
It's about this idea of signs containing two parts to them.
Yes,
it's really beautiful in that.
Well, it's also those extremes, isn't it? So,
incredibly knowledgeable.
Yes. Well, that's the other thing. Don't forget, Aquarius but it's usually a knowing, an intuitive knowing rather than knowledge some of the time. So in other words, it's information coming from an area they can't necessarily explain, and they'll say, no, I just know. And at the end of the day, that's the key phrase for Aquarius is I know. So you do get a few know-it-all Aquarians out there, but we won't pick on those ones because we know they exist. But the funny thing is with that Uranian energy, or I should say the Aquarian energy. So going back to the eclipse, I would literally be looking at it saying, here's a time of having to make or changes occurring, maybe even forced changes or situations where you're through a dramatic event sometimes, or I don't want to use the word drama, but it's like a circumstance which is, because I see Aquarius or Uranian energy as extremes. So a certain circumstance which forces an extreme of some kind in order to force you into making a change. It's also about change and radical change. So, but if you know that things need to be changed, you might find that you're ready for a change or you want to do something. A classic example might be if you're in a relationship that's not going that well, and you might find Aquarius in your chart sits in a relationship house, then an eclipse in there might be something that really brings something out that you need to deal with in your relationship, and it may result in a breakup. And if it doesn't, it's a renewed sense within that relationship. It brings out the absolute truth. And that's the other key point, I think, with the Aquarian energy, is it does. And Uranus brings out, Jupiter is about the truth. But if you go to a lawyer and you go to a barrister, truth is what they can make you believe. Okay, this is the truth.
Yeah,
when it comes to Aquarius and Uranian energy, it's like, no, that's not universal truth.
It's fixed.
This is the truth. Yeah, it's fixed. It's a fixed truth. So there's a truth, one truth and only truth. Bang, you're going to deal with this truth. And I know why that truth is, and I'm going to tell you about it. That's exactly right. And the other thing with that can be with the eclipse area is about if there's anything hidden, if there's anything not being clear in your life at the time, or circumstances that aren't coming to light, that eclipse may actually bring that event forward for you to deal with, and not necessarily in a way that you expected it to be. More so. It could also hide whatever it is, Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say. Diminishment of the light. It wants to break through the revolution that come up out of the ice and break through and say, look, I'm in the sunshine now, and here it all is. Here's the evidence. I've got it. But you may select or include things that are on an emotional perspective rather than a normal Aquarian reasoning. New moon seed. So people may not listen to your reasoning at that point in time because the moon is putting, and they're saying, the classic example, someone has a reaction to something, oh, look, he's just going off. So they don't take you serious. Yeah, and you're detached from it because it's an air sign. That's right.